how are you finding the leg space?
Well, it's fine because there's no seat.
Trabant Deluxe.
You might have to press the button in.
No, it's just buggered. So, still, this is definitely a good idea.
I'm increasingly thinking it isn't a good idea. Example number one, this is the gear stick. This is the instructions of various push them in and then push them out. This is going to go terribly wrong at some point, I can feel it. So Martin, what are your feelings on this vehicle?
Well, I'd like a working seatbelt. I mean, this is kind of a working seatbelt, but it really is, you know, fat use in terms of trying to adjust the thing or get it in. I am quite scared.
So I can't believe we're actually going to be going out into the streets in this. It's actually bouncing. I can feel the car bouncing.
Yep. It's like being in a hip hop video.
Yeah. Yeah, just like being in a hip hop video. The brakes are atrocious. I mean, it's easy to stick my foot out of the door like Fred Flintstone. It'd be as effective and possibly safer. Do you think there's something morally questionable about driving around in a car that's kind of become a symbol of what was an oppressive regime?
The moral questionability of it has taken rather a back seat, if there were room in the back seat, to the fact that this is actually quite physically questionable. As the fumes start to rise and I feel the barely shuttable plastic door at my right hand side, I am a little bit scared. Nevertheless, I will address your question with the respect it deserves. And is it morally questionable? I don't know. It was an oppressive regime, but at the same time, it's the everyday that is probably a testament to how the everyday people live within this, and that is probably worth commemorating and in some respects experiencing as well. And I think we are very much experiencing the everyday practical, well, I'll interject there and say not the everyday practical kind of realities of this, because frankly, getting a Trabant was not an everyday occurrence. It was a treat. I've heard it said repeatedly by someone who probably misprinted their post in the first place that there's a 10-year waiting list for these.
It's absolutely incredible, and literally incredible that. Oh! Who would dare to cut up a Trabant? It's just impolite. It's the height of bad manners.
Well, people essentially lack empathy, which is why communism failed, which is why capitalism is failing. We are not factoring the fact that if everyone else is driving on these, it feel a lot less scary.
Yeah. Although the driver I'm most scared of is myself. So, and also the guy behind me when he comes up at enormous speed in the car with no brakes.
Okay, so these are the guys surviving the Trabant, I hope. And see the whole car? Yeah.
There's James Blunt's.
Indeed.
That's capitalism. This is one of the proudest moments of my life. I've actually managed to change into third gear without stalling and calling an accident. The real challenge, of course, will come after change back down to second, which is going to be right now, actually. It's in, isn't it?
It's in.
In. No. Checkpoint Charlie over there, next to KFC and McDonald's.
Yeah. Ain't it beautiful?
This is the two-stroke engine.
Two-stroke engine with manual petrol measurement. Put it inside. Get the drops off, and well, it's about 14 liters.
So, what do you think?
Well, I feel kind of mentally incapacitated from all the exhaust fumes from the other cars, but I actually quite enjoyed it. The gear stick was incredibly awkward to the point where I actually stalled quite dangerously at one point. But I guess when you start driving any car, you have teething troubles.
For the first 3 months, in my case.
Well, exactly. Yeah, it bounced around. I love the design. There's something about it.
We're looking at the design.
And it's nothing to do with its political symbolism. There's nothing to do with that at all. Road users were mostly very considerate, some weren't. Taxi drivers, I'm talking about you.
Was it something you'd do again, you think?
It's not an experience I regret, nor is it one I'd repeat.